A very good morning to everyone and welcome back to another session of Economy and Financial News Analysis. So let us quickly get started with what important news we have to cover for today. So the first news is regarding our expenditure. Okay, expenditure of various people or the portion of population with respect to health or on health. And according to a report, okay, this is a report. What is the name of the report? The name of the report is Sustainable Development Goals National Indicator Framework Report. Sustainable Development Goals or SDG National Indicator Framework Report. And who has published this report? It has been published by MOSPI, that is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Ministry. Okay, is there any issue with the audio? Is it clear now? Can someone please confirm if the audio is clear or if there is an issue with it? Okay, so let us continue. So this is the report SDG National Indicator Framework Report 2023, and this report has been published by MOSPI, that is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. And in this report, one of the data that has been focused on is regarding spends on health. Spends on health. And according to the report, it has been found that the number of people or portion of population, you could say, spending on health more than 10% of their total household income has increased. It has increased. And this is with respect to 2017-18 levels. 2022-23, it has increased with respect to 2017-18 levels. Now let us see the data here. So you can see this blue, it represents the 2017-18 data, okay? And this is the 2022-23 data, and this is a portion of population, the portion of population who are spending more than 10%, who are spending more than 10%, or their expenditure, it is more than 10%, okay? So you can see that the spend of more than 10% has increased to 6.67% or 6.67% of the population, okay? And with respect to expenditure greater than 25% on health, it has also increased. It has also increased to 2.3% of the population, okay? And this is if we consider the whole of India. And if we consider various states, then it is Kerala. It is Kerala who has the highest spend with respect to the household income, percentage of household income spent on health. It is Kerala who has the highest spend. Okay, it is 16.13% of its population is spending more than 10% on health, while about 6.14% is spending more than 25% on health. Okay, and this is a percentage of the percentage or proportion of population, okay? And this 10%, it is with respect to their total household income, 10% of their total household income, 25% of their total household income. So what you need to remember here, this 6.67% expenditure greater than 10%, 2.3% expenditure greater than 25%, and Kerala has the highest expenditure if we consider both greater than 10% and 25% of their household income on health. Okay, these three things you need to remember. Other than that, what is this report and who has given this report? Okay, okay. Now let us go to the next news. Let us go to the MOUs and partnerships. It might be a little confusing, I understand, because there are so many MOUs and partnerships. The best thing is putting it all in one place. Okay, you can make a list, right? The two countries who are having MOU or partnership, and regarding which field, okay, regarding which field they are having the partnership. Okay, if you make a list and if you see all of these MOUs together, then you will not be confused. Okay. Okay. Now let us go to the next news, that is regarding NHAI trust. So NHAI, the National Highway Authority of India, it has a trust under it. That is the National Highway Infrastructure Trust. Okay. And this trust, that is National Highway Infrastructure Trust, it is planning to raise 4,500 crore rupees through term loans. Okay. Term loans, you understand, for a specific term, and it will have a specific interest rate as well. So they are, with the help of term loans, it is expecting or it is planning to raise 4,500 crore rupees. Okay. And why it is planning on? Why it is planning on raising this money? Because it wants to acquire 5 operational road assets, 5 operational road assets from NHAI, that is National Highway Authority of India. Okay, and all of these are under the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. And it is estimated that the enterprise value of these assets that it is going to acquire or is planning to acquire, it is over 9,000 crore rupees. It is over 9,000 crore rupees. So to fund this acquisition, it is planning that 4,500 crore rupees it will raise through debt, that is the term loan, and the rest it will raise through equity by issuance of InvIT units or infrastructure investment trust units. So by issuing these units, investors, they are going to buy these units or invest in these units, and by that it would be able to raise the money. Okay. And other than that, another thing that we should remember here is, or understand here is, this transaction was a part of asset monetization of toll operate transfer arrangement. So the asset monetization, what do we mean by asset monetization? It is the conversion of an ideal asset to a revenue generating asset, Okay. And what do we mean by this toll operate transfer? So this is basically, you could say, one of the types of public-private partnership. And here for a specific period of time, let us say for 30 years. Okay, for a specific period of time, you could say, for example, okay, this is an example, let us say for 30 years. But what the government will do? The government, or you could say here the NHAI is going to give. So I am taking in general the government. It is going to give the right to collect tolls. Since we are talking about highways, to collect tolls, and also it will keep the tolls. It doesn't need to give this to the government. It will collect tolls and keep the tolls, and alongside that, it will have to operate and manage. Okay, operate and manage the infrastructure for the given period also. Okay, and against that, it has to give a lump sum. It will have to give a lump sum amount to the government. And here the ownership is staying with the government. Only the right to generate revenue is being transferred to a private entity here, and it is for a specific period. Okay. And what do you need to remember here from your examination point of view? That is this 45,000 crore rupees that NHAI's trust, that is National Highway Infrastructure Trust, is planning to raise. Now, let us go to the next thing, which is regarding India-Israel, who are planning to boost ties in agriculture. So, Israel is one of the countries with scanty natural water availability. Okay, it has a lack of or a non-availability of natural water, because of which it has turned out to be a leader in water efficient technologies, in various technologies, to increase water efficiency or water use efficiency and also decrease wastage. Okay, it has become a leader in the same, and which is very beneficial for agriculture, right? Water efficiency, increasing water use efficiency in agriculture. And that is exactly why the Israel, it has come up with various innovations, right? Regarding, you could say, drip irrigation, even desalination, all of these technologies that is leading in the same. And that is why India is going to cooperate. India is going to cooperate with Israel in the field of agriculture, okay? And they are planning to push high level agricultural technology cooperation, and Israel will be cooperating with ICAR, that is Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Okay. Okay. And here someone was asking how you are going to remember the MOUs, right? So here this is also one of the cooperation or agreement. So simply in your notes you need to write India, Israel, and the area in which they are going to cooperate, that is agriculture. Okay. Now let us go to the next news, which is regarding 6G technology. So recently, the UN body, that is International Telecom Union, it has accepted India's inputs with respect to 6G technology. Okay? So by this, we can understand that India is going to have a huge or substantial effect, or you could say substantial contribution with respect to the advancement of 6G technology, right? Which would be the next generation high speed technology. Currently we are on 5G, right? And we are going to improve it. We are going to improve or advance the technology to 6G. And India would be a major contributor with respect to the development of 6G technology. Okay. And recently only in the month of March, our Prime Minister had released the India's 6G vision document. Okay. And that was related to design, development and deployment of 6G technology by 2030. So by this you can understand that we are going to contribute a lot with respect to advancement of this technology of 6G. Now let us go to the next news, which is regarding the remittances. So we have been reading about remittances and the tax collected at source, which will be levied on them, right? But recently some changes have been brought to this tax, to this remittances and associated tax collected at source. So let us see what are the changes that have been brought. Okay, so currently it has been decided that up to 7 lakh rupees. Okay, first of all, how much amount you can remit freely without any sort of approval required by RBI? It is $2.5 lakh. Okay, $2.5 lakh you can freely remit without the need of any approval from RBI. And if the remittance is under 7 lakh, then it is not going to attract any sort of tax collected at source. It is not going to attract any sort of tax collected at source. If it is more than 7 lakhs, then it is going to attract a tax collected at source of 20%. But here there were certain exceptions. That is, if it is being spent for education loan, then the tax collected at source would be 0.5%. And if it is being spent on health and education other than loan, then it will be 5%. It will be 5% of tax collected at source that is going to be levied. Other than that, you need to remember another thing. Buying of packages, okay, overseas tour packages. For buying of overseas tour packages, earlier there was no threshold, okay, and it was equally 5%, of TCS was levied, and currently it has been changed that up to up to 7 lakh, 5% of tax collected at source will be levied. Okay, for this case, you can see that if it is under 7 lakh per annum, okay, this is per annum. This is also per annum. If the spend is less than 7 lakh per annum, there will be no tax collected at source, but it is different for tour packages, buying of overseas tour packages. So here, if it is less than 7 lakh, then 5% of tax collected at source would be levied. And if it is more than 7 lakh, then 20%. Then 20% of tax collected at source would be levied. Okay. And other than that, another important thing, and two important things rather. One is that for spend done by international credit card, when the person is overseas, it will not be considered under the liberalized remittance scheme. It will not be considered under the liberalized remittance scheme. It is under the liberalized remittance scheme only that you are allowed to remit up to $2.5 lakh per annum. But if international credit card, one is spending from through international credit card when they are overseas, then it would be not considered under the liberalized remittance scheme, and hence the tax collected at source is not applicable on that. And another important change is that all of these rates, okay, all of these rates we had learned that from July 1 it is going to be applicable, which is today, but it has been currently deferred. It has been currently deferred by 3 months to October 1. October 1, 2023. October 1, 2023. Okay. So you need to remember this because we had read something and changes have been brought. $2.5 lakh per annum, then 7 lakh with respect to everything, it is 20%. If it is more than 7 lakh, less than 7 lakh, it is nil, that is no tax collected at source. But for education loan, it is 0.5%, even if it is more than 7 lakh. And for health spend or education other than loan, it is 5%. But for overseas tour packages, it would be 5% even if it is less than 7 lakh, and if it is more than 7 lakh, 20%. International credit card usage when you are present overseas, it will be not considered under the liberalized remittance scheme. Hence, it is not going to attract this tax collected at source. And the new date from which all of this new rates would be applicable is October 1, 2023. Or you can say that this applicability is going to be deferred by 3 months. By 3 months. Okay. That is what you need to remember here. Now let us come to the last news for today, which is regarding an index. So I had said you that whenever you see an index, there are a few things that you will have to remember. One is who is giving the report, what is the report, who is giving the report, right? What is India's rank, what is India's score, and who has topped the index. It is also important that you know who has topped the index. Okay. So this is what is this report? This is the Energy Transition Index. Energy Transition Index. Okay, Energy Transition Index. This is the report. And who publishes this report? This report is published by World Economic Forum. It is published by World Economic Forum. What is the rank of India? The rank of India is 67. The rank of India is 67. Okay, then what is the score of India? What is the score of India? It is not given in this document. It is 54.3. 54.3 is the score of India. In the Energy Transition Index, score of India is 54.3. Who has topped? Who has topped? Who has topped the index? It is Sweden. It is Sweden who has topped the index, and its score is in fact over 78. Its score is over 78, and if we consider the score of the whole world, 120 countries that were evaluated for energy transition, their whole score would be 56.3. Okay, their whole score would be 56.3. But this is the main part that you need to remember. What is the index? Who publishes this index? What is India's rank? What is India's score? Who has topped the index? Okay, these are the main things that you will have to remember here. Now let us see. So India's rank is 67. Sweden has topped. 120 countries were evaluated. Sweden is followed by Denmark, Norway, Finland, and Switzerland. Sometimes it becomes important that you remember the top 5, okay? But it is also not practically possible to remember all top 5 of every index. But if it is possible, it is good if you can. But the one who has secured the first position is the most important for you to remember. It is the most important for you to remember, okay? Okay, so this was the last question for the day, last news for the day. So now let us start with the MCQ. Let us start with the MCQ. So what would be the answer? What would be the answer to the first question here? So what would be the answer? Yes, the answer would be C. The answer would be C, that is NHIT. NHIT. This is the correct answer. Now let us go to the next question. That is, with which country India is planning to increase cooperation in agriculture? With which country India is planning to cooperate in the field of agriculture? Yes, the answer would be Israel. The answer would be B, that is Israel. Okay, and it is basically, or you could say the focus is more on water use efficiency. That is something Israel is best at. Okay, and we are going to cooperate with Israel in the field of agriculture. Water use efficiency in agricultural field only. They have innovations with respect to drip irrigation, desalination, and also rainwater harvesting. Everything related to water use efficiency, they are leading the globe. Now the rank of India in the Energy Transition Index. It is published by World Economic Forum. What would be the answer to this? The answer to this would be D, right? That is 67. The rank of India is 67 in this index. Now let us go to the next question. That is, which ministry released regarding the data regarding the portion of population's expenditure of more than 10% of their household income on health? Regarding this, we just saw a report. So, who has released, which ministry has released this report? Yes, the answer would be MOSPI, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Okay. Okay. Now let us come to the last question, that is regarding the tax collected at source, remittance and tax collected at source. Regarding that, there has been some changes which we read. But this question is asking that what was the applicable date? What was the applicable date with respect to union budget of financial year 24? So what was the old date? Basically, it is asking. So if we consider the old date, it is July 1st, but currently it has been changed to 1st October. So this is most probably what you are going to be asked, that what will be the new date from which it will be applicable. It will be 1st October. But if we consider the old date, It will be 1st July. That is according to the budget. According to the budget for financial year 24, this was the date. This was the date from which it will be applicable. Yes. Okay. So this was the last question for the day. And it was only Akash today who participated in the MCQ. And you answered all of the questions correctly as well. Okay. So we are going to meet again. Okay, we are going to meet again soon to update ourselves with more important news regarding the economy and financial aspects of the news. And I hope all of you have a very good day. Thank you.